Good Erev Shabbos. This week's Parsha is Parshas Chaye Sara. I had an interesting story happen to me this week, and it seems that the answer to what I should do is in the Parsha. The sages say, not the Talmudic sages, but modern-day rabbis, that you should always look to see if you can find your life in the Parsha. And this week it was pretty clear, I think. You can tell me. What happened was one of my students called and said, I'm going to be late. And I'm going to also have to do it by phone. I've had to work very hard and long day. And instead of coming to your house to meet you in the early evening, let's learn later by phone. I quickly realized he might be tired if he was learning later. And it was maybe better to learn the following week, which would also have to be by phone, but at the regular time when he was rested. And I said to him, well, whatever you want. And he said the same thing back to me. And then I said, well, if you come this week, we'll be learning earlier. We'll get started sooner, even if we don't do the next week, because we do every other week. Or we could do it next week when you're tired and rested. That's the other principle. My first inclination was to do the quality week and to do the week, right away when it would be better. A friend of mine suggested, no, better to do a mitzvah as soon as you can. There actually is a chazal like that. And then I was thinking in the Parsha this week, Eliezer said to Rivka's family, let Rivka come now. And they said, no, give us time. I think they wanted about a year. They wanted to, help her prepare, I suppose, for their wedding together, Yitzhak and Rivka. So the choice was really, a better Rivka then, later, or, Rivka now. And of course, Eliezer, as we all know, said, no, send her now. So I was thinking in that case, I sent back a second message to this fellow and suggested that we study sooner rather than later. And he agreed, and I'll be seeing him later tonight. In any case, when a mitzvah comes to your hand, as the sages say, al tachmitzena, don't let it turn into leaven, so to speak. Leaven is when the dough delays, right? Do it right away. And that's what we're really choosing to do. We're applying that principle of the sages and maybe the story of Eliezer talking to Rivka's family about when she should leave. With that, have a great Shabbos.